This week, we are talking all about transcendence. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can use the chakra system as a tool toward transcendence and how to properly use it as a tool. Hi, my name is Michelle Fondin. I'm the author of 12 published books, including The 8 Limbs of Yoga for Modern Times, a practical guide to the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and Chakra Healing for Vibrant Energy, exploring your 7 energy centers with mindfulness, yoga, and Ayurveda. You can find all of my published books on Amazon and Ingram Spark. If you are new to my channel, I want to welcome you here. Thank you for subscribing. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I teach meditation online on demand. You can book that at the link below. And if you're viewing this on Thanksgiving week of 2025, you can take 20% off all of my courses, the entire cart, if you want to take more than one, with the promo code AWAKEN2025. That promo code is good until November 30th of 2025. The chakra system. If you are new to the chakra system and you kind of have no idea what I'm talking about, or maybe you've heard the word chakra and you're not quite sure what it means, I'm going to post a video on what is a chakra right here. And I have an entire playlist on the 7 main chakras and the chakra system with meditations, yoga, yogic breathing, and descriptions of each of the chakras in that playlist. So you can always view that first and then come back to this video, or view this video and go to those other videos. When approaching the chakras and the chakra system and chakra healing, many spiritual seekers are a little bit misguided about the usefulness of the chakras and the chakra system as a whole for healing and transcendence. Let me explain to you a little bit why this happens. Many people hear about something called a Kundalini awakening that happens when you align all of the chakras. I also have a video on Kundalini awakening. I'm going to put that right here. But the Kundalini awakening is the alignment of the chakras and the energetic connection that connects you from the root all the way up through to the crown of the head, that takes you into that crown chakra energy and above and beyond that. And so many spiritual seekers get roped into this idea of, I've got to have my Kundalini awakening. Have I had my Kundalini awakening? I don't know what to do. Maybe the chakras will help me to get that Kundalini awakening. So when you look at the chakra system as a goal for something magical, like reaching a Kundalini awakening, or you look at it as a system to maybe get you psychic powers, clairvoyant powers, or to just fix yourself in some way so that you can transcend to higher states, that's not really the point and purpose of the chakras and how it is used to help you get balanced and to open up those energetic centers. So first and foremost, yes, you can have a Kundalini awakening once you align the chakras, or if you're working with the chakras. But a Kundalini awakening can happen spontaneously. Now, the problem with that is that if these energetic centers in your body are not properly aligned, if you have a lot of stuckness or blockages in the areas of your body in which one or more of the chakras is blocked, then you can experience a lot of discomfort. If you've ever heard the term awakening symptoms, where people feel physically ill or mentally ill, both of these things happen, where they feel physically ill, where they might have body aches, chills, where they might get intense migraines, headaches, heart palpitations. and so on and so forth. Or they might be having some hallucinations or having some sort of psychic abilities, but they feel like they're going completely mad, like they're going crazy. That would be the result of not having healed or using the chakra system properly to move through, to balance and align each individual chakra in order to feel ready. In the Abraham-Hicks philosophy, there is a line that Abraham repeats, and that line is getting ready to be ready. And I really, really liked this. At first, I didn't quite understand what Abraham was talking about. But when I apply it to transcendence and using a tool such as the chakra system, that is getting ready to be ready, meaning you're going to work through the chakras and the process of them, not just to get to the end goal, but you are going to work through the chakra system and the process of them to prepare yourself for a smooth Kundalini awakening or a smooth transcendence into higher states of consciousness. Because when you don't do this, like I said, it can be very jarring to the body and jarring to the system, where you have a lot of physical symptoms that are making you ill, and or a lot of mental symptoms that are making you ill or making you have more anxiety, more depression, make you feel even psychotic or like you're going completely crazy. And the reason is because the energy that would be rising up into those higher states is moving through the blocked areas of your body, jarring your body into action or higher vibration. And you're left feeling not so good because you're not prepared. You're not ready, right? You're not getting ready to be ready. You're just trying to get to the goal. You're trying to get to like, oh, I want to reach higher states. I want to reach transcendence. And in fact, this is what sometimes happens to people that take psychedelics to get that higher state of consciousness, is that they feel physically ill. And you hear this time and again. I've never done drugs for transcendence. I've never done drugs at all, really. But I hear stories of people who go on journeys with magical mushrooms and they vomit on end during these magical journeys. I don't know really what it's called, but they do feel those states of transcendence, but they also feel very physically sick as a result of the rapidity in which the alignment is trying to move through the body that is not yet healed. That is the mistake that a lot of spiritual seekers make, is like they want to get to the transcendence really quickly. And as they're moving through it really quickly, they might reach that state, but it's a very uncomfortable state to be in. Now, the second mistake that a lot of spiritual seekers make in trying to reach transcendence using the chakra system is skipping over the first three chakras: the root chakra, the sacral chakra, which is the sexual and creativity center, and the solar plexus chakra, which is the area of the solar plexus. And a lot of spiritual seekers want to skip over these because they're like, well, that really has nothing to do with transcending into higher states of consciousness. So why don't I just go to the upper chakras? Why don't I just try to align my crown chakra, my third eye, the throat, even the heart chakra? Let me just try to align the higher chakras. And that is also problematic because in order to feel rooted on earth, and in order to heal the aspects of yourself that might be wounded from social conditioning, your upbringing, your education, false and limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging actions and thoughts, in order to heal those things, you need to work on the first three chakras. And that's really what self-love and self-empowerment are about. And in fact, this is a little teaser. I'm currently writing a new book that is upcoming for May of 2026 called Love Me Unconditionally, A Spiritual Guide to Self-Love. And it's really going to integrate how the chakras work as well to get you to the place of feeling the most self-love. Now let's talk about what the chakra system does do and how you know if it is actually working for you. So when your chakras are aligned and you are getting to the place where you are feeling a smooth transcendence and not that jarring, I feel like I'm going to vomit out my guts every day, transcendence, a smooth transcendence, you're going to feel more self-love. You're going to feel more compassion, forgiveness, inner peace, happiness, spontaneous joy, spontaneous love. You're going to start to feel those things because those things are the qualities of spirit. Now, let's go into the heart chakra once you've healed the lower three. And the heart chakra is really necessary to do next after the first three lower chakras, which can take anywhere between several weeks to a year, right, to get through those lower chakra healings. But once you get to the heart, it's really about tying the chakras of matter and the chakras of spirit together. And that is when you start to feel those transcendent feelings of non-harming, which I really speak about as the first yama of the first limb of yoga in my book, The 8 Limbs of Yoga for Modern Times. Because when you feel compassion towards yourself and toward everything else around you, that is this essence of non-harming. And that's where the heart chakra starts to open up, not only toward the people that are nearest and dearest to you in proximity and to your life and your heart, but it starts to spread. It starts to spread out toward all of humanity, the animals, animate and inanimate objects. It really begins to expand and you start to feel that sense of love pouring out from you because it is tying together the chakras of matter, which you've already regulated at this point, and the chakras of spirit, which are connecting you to higher source and that sense of transcendence, that sense of elevation into the higher states of consciousness. Now, if you have not yet mastered the heart, it's going to be tricky at best as you move into the higher states of consciousness, as you move in toward those higher chakras to heal them. And when I say it will be tricky at best, is because when you cannot feel compassion towards yourself and everything around you, if you cannot feel forgiveness towards yourself and everything around you, if you cannot feel spontaneous joy, where you find yourself laughing and happy more often than not, right? We're talking about, as a general rule, more often than not, you have spontaneous laughter, spontaneous happiness, then you're not yet completely healed and ready to hold the vibration of the higher states, right? And that's really what we're talking about. We're talking about physically, can you hold the vibrations of the higher states? Because the intensity of the vibrational states that are at a higher level are very harsh on the body, because in order to incarnate into this physical body, we have to vibrate at a lower frequency. And that's not to say that it is bad. It's just that we would be floating all the time. We would be up in the ethers all the time. We wouldn't be able to have a physical experience if we as souls did not lower our vibrations a little bit to stay inside this physical form, inside this physical body. So if you are fully grounded in your physical body, working through the first three chakras and into the fourth chakra, and you're able to then hold the vibration of the heart at its most open point, right? The most open state, then you're ready to also be able to integrate the higher vibrations of the throat chakra, the third eye, the crown chakra, and of course, the higher states of being that come with that. So as you move through this, you're able to hold on to more and more of those higher vibrational frequencies as you integrate them. And they won't make you ill. They won't make you have physical symptoms. They won't have you have mental symptoms. You will be able to hold and integrate them as they come. Now, I see this a lot in spiritual seekers that aren't quite ready to integrate the higher states. And here is why. As a person who is sensitive to opening up to higher vibrations, if you will, when you are ready to open up to higher vibrations, the sensitive spiritual seekers become ultra sensitive. And ultra sensitive means they have a lot of allergies, they can't stand noises, they can't stand smells, certain people really rub them wrong, environments rub them wrong. They have a really hard time integrating energy. And what that indicates to me as a spiritual teacher is that they are just not ready. They're not ready to integrate the higher states. They need more absorption of the open space of the heart chakra in order to vibrate and calibrate at that higher frequency of compassion, openness, forgiveness, self-love, self-expression through self-love, being able to hold the state of spontaneous laughter, happiness, and joy. Because here's the thing, when you are calibrating with an open heart chakra that is tying together the chakras of matter and the chakras of spirit, nothing really bothers you. Things just kind of roll off your back, right? Nothing is bothering you, whether somebody's wearing a scent or not wearing a scent, whether somebody is making a loud noise or not making a loud noise, whether anybody is doing anything at any given time, it's really not going to bother you because you know that everybody is on their individuated journey and your journey is not theirs, and so it shouldn't affect you. And so when you're really calibrated at that open heart chakra state and you are integrating that vibrational frequency, when you reach the higher states, when you're ready to elevate, to transcend into those higher states, you will be able to hold those and embody them without losing your sense of self. And really, that is what this is all about, and how you use the chakra system to your advantage to be able to transcend. And again, not everybody is going to get there, right? Not everybody is going to get there, nor is everyone asking to get there. Does that make sense? It's not that you are elite or superior to anybody else if you're able to embody those higher frequencies. It's just that you, as a soul, is asking for that. And so if you do it in a smooth way, if you're able to integrate it in a very smooth way as you move through the process and the journey, you will be able to hold and integrate those higher vibrational frequencies and opening up to those higher states of consciousness. Because when you're not ready, even moving from the heart up to the crown chakra, it can be really scary. You can have a lot of fears that surface when you are not ready to do so. And I have a story about this, and it's a story I tell in my meditation course as well. When I was first meditating, now I say first meditating, I was in year 3 of meditating, but it was in 2010, I did a silent meditation retreat with Dr. Deepak Chopra. And we were really doing very advanced meditation techniques to take us up into the higher states and teaching us levitation. Yes. And at the time, I really wasn't ready to be at that place. I had a lot of stuff that was unhealed at that time. Now, I didn't really know about this whole healing journey, if you will. I knew about the chakras, I knew about healing, but I didn't really understand it from an experiential level, meaning I knew it intellectually, but I didn't really have it. I didn't really integrate it. But something told me that I was not yet ready to experience these higher states. And when I did during this silent retreat, I got very frightened. It was a very, very frightening experience for me. I tell the story in my meditation course. I'm not going to go into it here, but I literally at one point ran out of the room in terror because I was so frightened. And that's what happens when you go up too fast into transcendence and you are just not ready to do so. But when you're ready and it finally happens, transcendence feels very good, right? Higher states of consciousness feel very good when you're ready and you are uninhibited because you have worked into alignment rather than forcing yourself to transcend. So when you're in that transcendent state, it feels very peaceful. It feels joyful. It feels expanded. It feels flowing. It feels all-knowing. It feels like bliss. It feels like happiness. It feels like you can conquer the world, but in a good way, not like I got to go out there and conquer the world and do this, but it feels connected. It feels universal. It feels like oneness. And when you're feeling that and really feeling that on every level, then you know that you're working toward the right place for you at the right time. So that is how you use the chakra system as a tool toward transcendence. And that is how you use the chakra system in the correct way that is not going to make you physically ill, mentally ill, or feel terror like I did during that silent retreat in 2010. Also, I got physically ill. I didn't tell you about that part. I also got violently physically ill. We are getting ready to be ready for transcendence, and this is a process. So I hope this helped you to understand how you use the tools for transcendence a little bit better. I want to thank you so much for joining me here today. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this with others who are on a spiritual journey. Thank you so much for your support of my YouTube channel. You can purchase one or more of my published books. You can join a course that I have online. Remember the 20% off coupon, Awaken 2025, and I will see you in the next video.